Howdy folks, I'm Scoryth, the Crimson Renegade. Welcome back to Final Fantasy VII. I've looked at the notes that I was looking for and I found exactly what I needed to read. I was right in everything that I had done so far. I just had the wrong dig spot. I was close, but not right where I needed to be. Let's talk to this guy again. Say start digging, and we want normal treasure. Not good treasure like I said the last time. I actually do want normal treasure. Now, you don't actually have to put anybody down to dig, which I'm not going to this time because I already know where I'm going to dig. So I'm just going to hit switch and say done. I'm not going to bother spending any money. Let's go ahead and knock the bomb for search. And where I'm going to search is just to the right of this burnt spot here on the upper level. Just a little bit to the right. Not too far to the right, but right about in here. And this time, I should be right where I need to be to get the item I'm looking for. You can actually get it, believe it or not, in multiple spots in this area, but I like to use that spot right there because that's what I remember most. That's when I first did the digging. That's where I remember getting it the first time, so it's just kind of stuck in my head. And I knew it was on the upper level where I used to always get it. So if I open up this treasure chest, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Key item, key to Sector 5. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was trying to get those last 3 times. And I realized what I was doing wrong is I was digging above this burnt spot up here when I actually needed to dig right about next to it and just to the right. Now I've read there's actually 3 different spots here that you can actually get it from. You can get it from this area here that I'm standing in now, and then I forget where the 3rd spot was that I read, but another one was down here just underneath the, I guess you could say what was the nose of this crash jet. So right around in here, just north of this guy sitting down here. So this is another area supposedly that you could get the key. I can't say for sure because I've always gotten it up there near the burnt spot. It was my mistake thinking it was just above it. It was just to the right. So you saw me where I dig, that's where you'll get it for sure every time. Just make sure you pick normal treasure, not good treasure. Believe it or not, even though it's actually good treasure, it's actually considered normal, but whatever. Okay, now that we've got that, we actually can return to our old town of Midgar. You might remember when we left Midgard, there was a door just outside of, there was a door just at Midgard when we left that was actually locked. We couldn't go back in because we didn't have the key. Well, now we do. And you can't get the key to Sector 5 until you completed the events in the live stream. So I apologize for trying to do it earlier with Tifa. I'd forgotten you couldn't do it that early. You had to wait till after Cloud is returned to the party. So let's return to Midgar. And we're going to have to land out over here in the green area, of course, as always. So we're going to land here. I'm going to throw down a quick save and be right back. Alright, now that I'm all saved up, we're actually going to enter Midgar. So just like we did before, just like we left Midgar, we walk up here. And see the guy standing over here by this door. Let's talk to him real quick. I dropped the key to this gate. Must be on that excavation tour. That's the clue that you're looking for in case you were trying to do this. If you're playing this game yourself and you're trying to do all this stuff yourself and you're lost or whatever. If you were to come and talk to this guy, that would be the clue that you're looking for. He's talking about the excavation tour. He's talking about Bone Village. He dropped the key while he went to go visit Bone Village, and then we ended up finding it just now. So now that we have the key, we can actually enter Sector 5. And despite the fact this door says 07, it is actually Sector 5. So we're going to go in here and see the door open for us. So now we go over here. And where are we going to end up? Of course, in Sector 5, right next to Eris's church. Why not? Let's go in and take a peek real quick. Now, despite what you see here, she's not actually there. If you walk up a little bit, she's going to vanish. So don't think that this is the way you can actually get her back. Like I said, right after we reached right after we got past the snowfields, before we entered Icicle Inn, Eris is gone. She will not return to the party no matter what. There's no special thing you need to do, no special place you need to go, no stand in one spot for an hour and wave your hands in the air and go whoop-de-doo for an hour, and suddenly she'll pop up and say, hey, I'm ready to rejoin the party. Nothing like that exists. She is gone forever. Now you talk to this girl over here. Where's the flower lady? So it's kind of sad. Unfortunately, you can't go back, despite the fact there's an arrow back here, you can't actually go back into that back area where we first saved Eris from Reno and the Turks, or Reno and the soldiers. That's all we can see of Eris, so I just want to point that little thing out. Now we're going to continue on this way. We're going to actually, where we're going now, we actually need to return to Wall Market. So if you remember where that is, that's in Sector 6. So we need to pass through Sector 5. Go through here. There's this wall. Through all this stuff here. We might encounter an enemy here. And even though it's probably an enemy we've encountered before, we're so much stronger now than we were when we first here. I'll leave it in and just totally kick its ass. Alright, good. We start with the house. So I'll just go ahead and straight up attack it. Poke. Sid pokes it once and it's dead. Didn't even get a chance to transform. That's what happens when you come back to an old zone and you're like 40 levels above what you were when you first came here. Alright, go under here, up this thing here, just like we did before. Pass through the wrecked park. We still can't enter Sector 7 because it is destroyed. They haven't fixed it yet. Go over to the right. And head up, and we are back in the Wall Market. Now, the reason we're here in Wall Market is because we want to go over here into this little item shop. And you must have Tifa and Sid in your party to do this. So let's walk up here and talk to this machine. You might remember we talked to it once before, and the machine gun overhead fired at us. Well, this time, Sid uses his beat boop techniques. Kicks it. Tifa messes with it. We get a bunch of flashes. I don't remember. More wrinkles. That's suggesting she already has wrinkles. You gotta be careful, Sid. An item came out. She picks it up, and what is it? It is the Premium Heart. That is Tifa's ultimate weapon. As you can see, there it is. 8 slots. Unfortunately, no growth because it's designed to be an end-game weapon. And each character's ultimate weapon has a special little, little perk to it. Let me actually grab my notes again real quick because I want to make sure I'm not actually going to equip it right now because I need the actual AP growth right now for my materia. But I'm going to look up the ultimate weapons real quick. That way I can actually tell you what each ultimate weapon, what each of their perks is. I know what a couple of them are. For example, Cloud's ultimate weapon, which we haven't gotten yet, but we're kind of close to getting it, will actually be... the attack power is based on how much HP he has in relation to his maximum HP. So the more damage he takes, the weaker his weapon will get. What's also great about his weapon is you actually see that when he's actually in a battle. So the more damage he takes, the color of his weapon will change, and the more it'll change to a blue color. And the more blue his sword is, the less damage it'll deal. So you always want to make sure you got the highest HP possible. So I hope I have the right information here. I go to several different sites because I get a lot of information that says a lot of different things. For example, I went to a site about the Bone Village area trying to get the key to Sector 5, and it told me I needed good treasure. Obviously that was wrong because I went to normal treasure and I got it. So sometimes I have to look in several places to find the information that I'm looking for. Because not all of this stuff I remember all in here. Most of it I do, but not all of it. Alright. For Tifa's ultimate weapon, let's see. Okay, if this is, again, you have to go with me with this information, assuming this is correct. If it's wrong, I apologize. But this is off of what's this website called? The unofficial Final Fantasy site. Go with it as you will. Premium Heart is a very powerful weapon, dealing more damage each time Tifa misses one of her limit breaks. So what it's referring to is the slots. So each time I hit miss on the slot bar, her limit break, her strength will increase. That doesn't sound right. Let me go look at something else. Because I think I remember it being that Tifa's ultimate weapon would remain stronger based on how much her limit break bar is filled. That's what I remember reading about that one time, so let me see if I can find it, make sure I'm completely correct about this. but I believe that Tifa's weapon, the Premium Heart, actually is stronger the higher her limit bar is. So as long as her limit bar is full, she will do a lot more damage than she would if it was empty. Yeah, here we go. The Premium Heart increases in power in proportion to Tifa's limit gauge. Yeah. Okay, so I was right on that one. So again, you gotta go to different sites to find the different information. But Premium Heart's power increases based on how much her limit bar is filled. So, believe it or not, you actually want to keep her limit bar at keep it filled in order for her to do maximum damage. Me personally, I'm not too worried about that. She deals a lot of damage. She deals a pretty decent amount of damage as is. Excuse me. She deals a decent amount of damage as is. And I don't usually do a lot of physical attacking. A lot of times I'm usually just doing a lot of magic attacks. So I'll probably just put it on there. Eventually I will equip all of the ultimate weapons. And the whole point of actually me using them would be just to have the 8 slots so I have plenty of flexibility for my materia. I'm not really worried about the attack power because, again, I mostly use magic for all my attacks. So for now, I'm going to stick with the Crystal Glove, but at least I showed you where to find the Premium Heart should you want it. Okay, now with that done, we can leave here. And again, you must have Sid and Tifa in your party when you enter that room, that little building, in order to get that done. All right, now we're going to head up here. And if you remember when we went into this room here, and we bought batteries from this guy over here on the left that we used in order to climb all that trash and metal to get to the top of the plate so we could enter the Shinra headquarters. Well, he has something else he could buy. He could sell to us. If I can talk to him. Why don't you buy it? Yeah, probably did. 129,000 gil. What kind of price is that? It's actually very expensive. I'm going to go ahead and get it because I'm not really needing money that badly, but I want to show it to you in case you can decide whether or not you want to get it. It's worth 120,000 gil, as you can see. I'll go ahead and buy it. And we got the Sneak Glove. What is the Sneak Glove? Well, I'll show you. Let's go to Equipment. It is an accessory that increases the stealing rate. So it's not a bad item per se. I don't really think it's worth 129,000 gil, even though I just bought it for that. But I had the money and wanted to show it to you. I personally don't think it's worth it because I can be patient enough to stand there and spam the steal button on all 3 characters and just have them steal over and over again until they get the item I'm looking for. That's also why I have 3 steal materias. I equip 1 to each party member so all 3 of them can steal at once. If you only have 1 steal materia because you never bought 2 more or whatever reason, and you might be interested in investing in a Sneak Glove. It would only increase the stealing rate for the 1 person that it's equipped on. Just like the Hypnocrown increases the effectiveness of the Manipulate materia, it would only increase its effectiveness on the character it's equipped on. It doesn't increase the manipulation rate on any other character. Same thing for the Sneak Glove. It won't increase the stealing rate for anybody except who it's on. Not really worth it in my opinion, but I wanted to go ahead and show it to you just in case you didn't know about it. Okay, with that done, that's pretty much all we can do in Midgar now. We are done with all the little side stuff we can do in Midgar. I want to go ahead and show you that's where you get the ultimate weapon, because I do plan on getting all the ultimate weapons for every character in the game as soon as possible, actually. And now it's kind of the opportunity for me to do that, so that's why I'm doing it. So that's Premium Heart, and I showed you how to get a Sneak Glove. I will meet you guys back outside of Midgar, because that's all we can do here, and meet you guys at our next destination for the... not only am I going to be getting level 4 limit breaks, sorry. Let me try that again. Not only am I going to be getting the ultimate weapons for everybody here, I will also be getting all the level 4 limit break items that are available to us at this point. So I will meet you guys at the High Wind for our next destination. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm here at the High Wind, as you can see. Real quick, I want to show you that I have changed the character. I changed out Sid for Vincent. I didn't change any gear or material or anything because what I'm going to show you here isn't going to require any fighting or anything. I just wanted to put him in the party because I have to have him in the party for what I want to show you. So, Vincent's in the party, specifically Vincent. Nobody else is really required. We're going to jump on the high wind, and we're going to head over here to the western continent again. Where we're going to head is one place we haven't really been able to visit very much, or actually at all. Remember this little, right over his direction, is a little river that passes through here, that we went on several times with the tiny Bronco. That's not the right river. The river's actually over here. Sorry. There's the river I was looking for. This river we pass over, and up here, up these waterfalls here, it's a little lake up here that we couldn't get to. Well, now we can. We can get to it on the high wind. Takes a little finagling, but we put it right here, and we land. There's an effort. We can land it somewhere over here. Hang on. I'm pretty sure we can land it here. I think I've done it before. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I thought we could actually do this from the high wind, but obviously I'm wrong because I can't. Obviously can't. Okay, with that in mind then, let's, actually didn't mean to go into the high wind. We're right next to Nibelheim, so we'll go ahead and do this then. Let's go to Nibelheim. I apologize for all the running around. I'm thinking remembering things too early, because a lot of most of the things that I do when I do these tutorial type Let's Plays, these walkthroughs essentially, is I like to do all these things I do mostly things from memory. When I've played the game enough that I know almost everything just from memory. All these steals that I've been showing you up to this point are mostly from memory. I only have notes here just to kind of remind me about certain things I may have forgotten, like at a certain point what enemy actually holds a certain item. But for the most part, I like trying doing all this stuff strictly from memory. So sometimes I get a little ahead of myself and remember things that are slightly out of place. Like for the example that what I was trying to land earlier, I can't land it there on the high wind. I have to go there from another form of transportation that we haven't gotten yet. But for now, we need to go into the Shinra Mansion, and we want to go back down to the cellar right outside of where we met Vincent. Back attack, alright. We should be powerful enough to pretty much wipe these guys out in one hit now, so I'm not going to bother cutting these battles out or just running them out. We should be able to get these guys pretty easy. Even though this guy's still got a high defense stat despite our level. Let's continue down here. We're heading down to the basement of the Shinra Mansion. Specifically, we're going to the library where Sephiroth was looking through all those books. Yeah, I'm not messing with these guys. I don't like messing with those happy face creatures because I don't like how easily they can inflict confusion on you. We're going past where we met Vincent. Oh, god damn it. Bats. Alright, who's first up? We're going to wipe these guys out with a single strike. Alright, now we go past where we met Vincent. And we go in here. We're getting to the extra cutscene. Remember some of the questions that I had asked earlier about how Cloud ended up gaining his memories and ending up in a Shinra uniform? We're going to get those questions answered right now. And you see there's Zack and Cloud in those test tubes there. Ooh! Obviously Zack's doing just fine. Huh, passed out. We've never seen Cloud that way before. Well, at least Zack found the Buster Sword. How did Cloud end up with a Buster's sword? Hmm. You see, Zack helped Cloud escape from Nibelheim, so you can probably tell by the way that Cloud is reacting very much to the way he was when we saw him at Medeal, that he has once again been flooded with Mako poisoning. So essentially, that's the effect of Hojo's experimentation. Both Zack and Cloud were in those tubes being experimented on by Hojo, and now Cloud is dealing with the effects of the poisoning, and the reason that Zack is unaffected by it is because he's obviously much stronger. He truly was in Soldier. You might remember you think about that line for just a moment. Remember what he's talking about, the place where he wanted to stay? He wanted to stay at Eris's house because remember Eris and Zack was her first boyfriend. He wanted to stay at her place for a while, but then he remembered that Elmira was still there. Well, you're good at killing people. You have a big sword, right? And you notice he does the squats just like Cloud does, or does, whatever, how you want to put it. All his mannerisms match Zack because and now you see Cloud in a soldier outfit. Some of this is explained a little bit better in Crisis Core, but I'll if you don't feel like playing Crisis Core, or maybe if you did play Crisis Core, didn't understand it, or whatever, I'll fill in some gaps here for you. Jesus. You ever heard the term overkill? Yeah, it's not like he's gonna come back and totally annihilate our company sometime in the future. That surely could never possibly happen. Hmm. And look at that, right outside of Midgar. Okay, since there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue to really fill in storyline gaps, I'm going to help you fill in some spots here. Some of this would be explained in Crisis Core, but I'm going to help you out here in case you either haven't played it or not interested in playing it, or maybe if you have, you're still confused by the storyline. Zack was actually in Soldier. This much we already know. Cloud was not. He never made it. He never made it into the Soldier program. But because he had been experimented on by Hojo, he was infected. He was dealing with Mako poisoning, which is why you saw him with his head bobbing and all and all that stuff. He was still under the effects of the poisoning, just as he was in Medial when we saw him in Medial. Well, while he was under the effect of poisoning, Zack was telling Cloud all of the events, all of the things that he had done while he was a soldier. And because Cloud's brain was so messed up from the poisoning, the stories he was listening to actually became in his mind part of his own history. He thought he was the one that actually did all those things. That's why he thought he was actually a first-class soldier. That's why he thought he was where Zack was when they went to Nibelheim. That's why he thought at first he was the one to take on Sephiroth when Sephiroth first went mad in Nibelheim at the reactor. All those events really happened, and Cloud's memory was right in that he was there, but not in the fact that he was who he thought he was. He thought he was the soldier that was there, the first class soldier, but he was actually just a regular Shinra soldier, a grunt soldier, even though all those events did happen. He remembers the burning flames. He remembers Sephiroth actually actually destroying the town, injuries that he inflicted on Tifa. All those did happen, and Cloud remembers all those things, but he remembers them from the wrong perspective, thinking of them as what Zack did. After being poisoned again by falling into the life stream in Medial, and the life stream that he was in when he came from the Northern Crater all the way down to Medial, Tifa talked to him again and essentially helped put his mind back in place. So, helped reorganize his shattered memories, as he called them, and remembered his own memories, put himself where he actually was as the Shinra soldier, not the soldier, and he remembers everything properly because that's how it actually happened. His memories are now correct because of what happened. Now, because of what Tifa did in the live stream. Now, what we saw there is Zack changed Cloud out of the Shinra soldier uniform and into the first class soldier uniform. Where he got it, they never really explained, but it put him in that uniform because in Crisis Core, Zack explains that he's not going to be able to recover from his Mako poisoning if he's still in those Mako drenched clothing that he was wearing in that Shinra outfit. So he changed him into that Shinra soldier outfit because that was all the clothes he had, and figuring that would help him recover faster. Well, it did. He started recovering. His brain started coming back to him, and as you saw there at the end of that little cutscene, he crawled over to Zack and took the Buster Sword from him. Well, he had gained enough strength that he could actually get control of his body and at least somewhat gain some of his strength. And when he took the Buster Sword, it kind of triggered the Zack memories in his mind, kind of reinforcing the fact that he thought he was Zack. And that's why when he went to Midgar, he told Tifa, yeah, I've been a soldier. I've been a soldier for the last 5 years, and told her about the events of Nibelheim. And if you might remember when we saw Tifa meeting Cloud at the train station, Cloud had said, or Tifa had said, that there was things that you remembered that you shouldn't have remembered. Those things being what Zack experienced, not what Cloud experienced. So that was what confused her. So eventually Cloud recovered enough that he was able to think that he was Zack, which is why he acted like he was Zack, because that's who he thought he was, until he fell into the live stream again and Tifa fixed those memories. That's why, again, when he talked about in the Whirlwind Maze, when he was talking about when he was back in the illusionary world of the Burning Nibelheim, he said he remembers going to Nibelheim with Sephiroth 5 years ago. He remembers seeing all the people in town, going through Tifa's underwear drawer. He did all that, but he did it as a Shinra soldier, not as the soldier that he thought he was. That's why when he said, okay, how did I enter soldier? He couldn't remember how he entered soldier because Zack never told that to him. Therefore, he never experienced, quote unquote, Cloud never experienced it in his shattered memories. So, Cloud never was a soldier, despite what he says. But he carries on Zack's memories and basically carries on a double life in that way. And after the events of Medial, he has sorted it out, and he now knows that he never was a soldier. He knows who he is now. He's just got the memories of Zack in his mind. He's essentially living out both their lives, as he said at the beginning of Advent Children, for those who've seen that movie. Okay, that's all done out of the way. I hope my explanation kind of filled in any gaps. I know that kind of jumps around a little bit. Hopes it fills in any gaps that you might have regarding the storyline of 7, which can be kind of convoluted considering they don't say it as clearly and as blatantly as I do. They don't spell it out for you as easily as I do, or at least I try to do anyway. So I hope that makes sense to you. I don't know if you saw that little brief battle right there real quick. You might have seen that the one enemy on the screen there, the one that looked like it looked kind of like a clock or a mirror with like a tie under it or something. It truly is actually a mirror, and it has permanent reflect on it. So if you were to cast any of your magics on it, it would actually reflect off of that enemy and cast back onto you. So that enemy you probably want to stick with like physical attacks. Okay, we're done with Nibelheim. Actually, no, we're not done with Nibelheim. We actually need to visit Tifa's house again, and we want to actually go visit her room. And this time, I think we should be able to play on the piano and be able to get a fancy item now. Let's go here, get on the piano. I'll go for it. Let me get the buttons because I don't remember all the buttons by heart. Okay. I'm going to say I forgot because I wanted to show you what the buttons were. In case you're looking at it, in case you want to know what the commands are by their notes, the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la stuff. If you want to know the commands through the notes here, you can look at them up here. But the commands using on the PC version are cancel, switch, menu, page up, switch, cancel, switch, menu, page up, cancel, okay, cancel, switch, cancel. Start. Here's what I played it well. Oh, right, I did it right. I have the sheet music for that song. So I'm inside the music sheet. It's a note. What's happening to our town? Was it all an illusion or just a dream? No, it was neither. I remember trying to get people out of the flames, but not having the strength. Burning with anger, I went to the reactor to kill Sephiroth, but he was nowhere to be found. Instead, I found you, collapsed inside. I felt saving you was far more important than going after Sephiroth. There were several others that were still alive inside, but I was only able to save you. As I was coming out of the reactor, Shinra troops were just arriving. I recall a scientist named Hojo was in charge. He ordered the troops to gather up everyone still alive for the experiment. I didn't know what type of experiment he was talking about, but I wasn't about to let them have my dear student. Putting you on my back, I headed down the mountain to the village, using the cure spell on you many times, and started to head for Midgard to look for a doctor for you. I didn't like that city, and my cure spells weren't helping. I decided to go to Midgard to find a doctor I could trust. I'm worried about you, but I can't settle down in one place for very long. Have you recovered fully? Are you well? I wonder how many years have passed since then. I just got into town again, but I can't believe it. The whole town is back to normal, except for the strange people with black clothes all around. The town reeks of Shinra, but I won't go after them. You may think I'm running from them, but it's just that I don't want anything to do with Shinra anymore. Feels like time is running out. I'm sure you'll find this letter, and this gift for you. It should come in handy. I can't even jump anymore, but I hope you continue to sharpen your skills and remember what I taught you. To my most precious student, from Zangan. And I remember this Zangan was the teacher that we met back in Cloud's flashback who taught many students around the world, but specifically Tifa in Nibelheim. And what is the special gift that he got, that he gave her? Final Heaven, her level 4 limit break. She's going to dance for us. And there you go. On disc, we're usually on disc 2 or part 2, you need to put in those commands that I said, and once you press start, Cloud will say that he remembers the music well, he played it well, heard the song before, and Tifa will get that letter and get her level 4 limit break item, Final Heaven. With that in mind, let's go ahead and equip it, because like I said, I've already got all of her limit breaks. As you can see, I've reached the minimum requirements. I've got all 6 of her natural limit breaks, which is all you have to do. Once you gain her second level 3 limit break, her level 4 limit break item is usable. And obviously you know it's going to be her because first of all, we got it from her house. That's a big clue. But in case you're not sure, in case you're curious, try putting it on somebody else. Final Heaven, let's try giving it to Cloud. Don't really care. Sid, not me, give it to someone else. But we know it's Tifa, so let's give it to her, and boom, so that's it. And we unlock the achievement, Final Heaven. And we have her level 4 limit break. So let's go ahead and go to Limit, Tifa, Set, Level 4 Final Heaven. Yes. Check it. Attack an opponent. Rough description. But the greatest thing about this is because she can actually use all 7 of her limit breaks at once. And each time she gets a limit break, she can use all 7 of her skills. So that's really nice. But as I explained before, each successive limit skill, the slot has more and more misses on it, and it's much harder to hit a yeah. So I would actually, honestly, unless you just get really good at the slots, I would recommend just trying to nail the hit. That way you can at least score a hit and get 7 straight hits. There's nothing more frustrating than get yeah 6 times and then hit miss on the 7th one, and you just miss the opportunity to do a shit ton of damage. So I recommend just going with all 7 hits. Don't try to go with yeahs unless you're just very good at the slots. Alright, we now have Tifa's level 4 limit break and her ultimate weapon. So that's awesome. Okay, we're going to step outside of Nibelheim now, because now we are officially done with Nibelheim. There's no other reason to come here. And now that we're outside on the world map, I want to do one thing real quick. You might remember that we picked up the level 4 limit break item for Red, rather. It was Cosmo Memory. We got it when we opened the chest in Nibelheim, or the safe rather, and we got Odin and the key to the basement that gave us access to Vincent. Well, we're going to temporarily put Red in the party, because he has also learned all of his natural limit breaks, as you can see right there. And now we're going to give him his level 4 limit break item. It is right here, Cosmo Memory, right there. Learn limit skill Cosmo Memory. Let's give it to Red. Right, I've got it, and we've unlocked the achievement Cosmo Memory. So let's go to Limit, Red. We're going to set it to level 4. And we're going to check it. Attacks all opponents. So it's this limit break is actually, in my opinion, visually very bland, but it attacks all enemies, so it is kind of nice. But that is his level 4 limit break. So now we've got the level 4 limit break for technically 3 of our characters, but one of them has unfortunately died, so we only have them for 2 characters now. Okay, let's see. What's next on the agenda? Where could I go from here? Let me see. Let me check the PHS real quick and take a look at our characters. Okay. I know where I want to go next. Let's jump on the high wind. And we are bound for North Corel. Let's see. I need to turn all the way around here. North Corel's back over here, past Mountain Bell. Now, I believe this is only available, at least this way. We're heading North Corel. We're heading to get Barrett's level 4 limit break, by the way. So when you put him in the party, PHS, change red for Barrett. I believe this is only possible if you successfully stop the train from ramming North Corel. If you fail to do that and the train plows through North Corel, I don't think you can get this this item this way. But I believe if you go into this tent here, I think... No, I don't think this is the right one. Is it this tent up here? One of these tents here. Is it this one? I think this might be it. Let's talk to this lady back here in the back. I know this is not the right one. Is it this room? Is this room? This building here? I think this is it here. Is it this lady I need to talk to? Why can't I get over to her? There we go. There we go. This memento is all I have of my husband. I'll give it to you if you please stop Meteor. And we get Catastrophe. That is Barrett's level 4 limit break. I believe it's only available after the events of Medial. Specifically the live stream event in Medial. So with that done, let's go ahead and check this out. Limit, as you can see, we have all of Barrett's natural limit breaks. So now we're going to go Item. Go down here to Catastrophe. Learn limit skill Catastrophe, and then we got it. Now we've unlocked the achievement Catastrophe. So let's set it. Set it for level 4, and check it. Damages all opponents, so it attacks all opponents. Again, at the end of this series, after the final episode, I will do a bonus episode showing off all of the limit breaks of all the characters in the game, including Eris. I will go to an older save and show all the limit breaks that Eris has, or that Eris had, even though I showed most of them on screen. But just to make sure I didn't miss any, I will show them all in a bonus episode. Okay, with that done, Kate Sith does not have a level 4 limit break item because he only has 2 limit breaks, level 1, level 2. We can't get Vincent's right now. Let me think. We're about to get Sid's in just a little bit. Same thing with Yuffie. Okay, so as far as getting level 4 items and limit breaks and stuff like that and ultimate weapons, we're pretty much done for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in the high wind and we're going to head to Junon and invade the underwater reactor in the next episode of Final Fantasy VII. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the links at the end of this video for more of my videos. And thanks so much for watching. I'm Scoryth, the Crimson Renegade, and I'll see you later.